So first game of the tournament at Games Workshop, 2,000 point premier, that means full painted tournament. It had to be Watchtower. Ugh. I'm playing against a Lizardman opponent with two large blocks of Saurus, and those are going to be hard to move out of a frickin' Watchtower. So he's got Croxagores on the right, with a big horde of Saurus with spears in the center. He's got a BSB and Old Blood hero in there. Also off to the right, it might have been hard to see, was a Old Blood on a Cold One. And he's got your 1-up save, all the doodads. Skinks are in the building. He got the roll-off for the Watchtower. And he's got another small block of Saurus back there. His mages are scattered throughout the back. He's got two of them, and a Salamander in the back as well. So on the right hill, I got a Cannon, an Engineer, 5 Chaff Knights, my Demigryphs, and a Hellblaster in front of them. My Steam Tank looking down the center, my block of Halberds with all my characters, and Hellblaster, Engineer, and Archer detachment. And towards the left, I got Knights that don't do shit all this game. So Lizardmen won the roll-off for first turn. So because my opponent finished deploying first, he got a +1 to the roll, and therefore he went first. He moves up with his entire army pretty much. Skinks, I don't think he shot anything with the Skinks out of the building. I don't know why, but he decided not to. In the magic phase, it was kind of unremarkable. He tried for a comet, and I dispelled it, and I think that was all his dice. Empire turn 1, my stuff moves up. I reformed the Demigryph Knights, Swift reform that is, to get them a little less blocked up. Knights advance. Steam Tank points towards his Saurus to use his cannon. I think I ended up moving up the Hellblaster, at least one of them. Over here I debate on charging into the building, but he's going to get stand and shoot with a ton of poison shots, so I decided not to. It's not necessary yet. And these Knights on the left flank move up. In the magic phase, I get off a Ice Shard Blizzard onto the Skinks in the building, and in the shooting phase, I think I overshoot the Saurus Old Blood with both of my cannons and can't do anything. And the Hellblasters also do very little to the guys in the building. So in Lizardman turn 2, he fails his stupidity check with his Saurus Old Blood, who's out of command range of his general and the BSB. So that's kind of shitty for him. My opponent has some pretty bad luck this game, I gotta say. He's looking to switch out the Skinks in the building for this big horde of Saurus. That's going to be super fun. These guys move up. Sorry, I'm just drinking some tea. Some Chinese tea. It's very good. And his Croxagores look to face down the Knights on the right flank. Croxagores got a lot better with Strength 7 great weapons. Salamander moves up as well. I think in the magic phase, he fails to cast another Comet. So my turn 2. I do charge the Halberdiers into the Skinks, because I kind of want to take that building before the Saurus get in there. I'm a little worried now, and I kind of acted too late on it, but oh well. The Steam Tank generates enough points to go into the Saurus Old Blood in the forest, and does not fail dangerous terrain. I move the Knights up to block off the Croxagores, because I don't want them getting into my Demigryphs. That'd be nasty. Yeah, these guys do shit all. I can't take that unit of Saurus. In the magic phase, I get another Ice Shard Blizzard off onto the Skinks in the building, but I don't get much else. I think I tried for another Harmonic Convergence, he stopped it. He's wise to me. And the Archers move up a bit, and I shot the Hellblasters at the Saurus, and they killed about 7 or something like that. After impact hits, I only do 1 wound to the Old Blood. Oh well. He does nothing to me. And I kill a few Skinks. He's stubborn with a rerollable, and he does not run. I should have Ice Shard Blizzard the General's unit. That would have made it a lot better, but wasn't thinking. So Lizardman turn 3. We have some charging going on from the Croxagores into my Knights. This is kind of what I intended. It's setting up a nice flank charge for my Demigryphs, which I am totally okay with, taking Croxagores in the flank. I'm rather charging them in flank. Yeah, he switches out his big block of Saurus for his Skinks. Although I did a number on his Skinks, there's only about 7 left. Salamander moves around the side of the building, and his Saurus unit to the left moves up a bit. In the magic phase, he gets Thunderbolt onto my Demigryphs. Chain Lightning, sorry. Does 1 wound and then it stops. And in the shooting phase, he kills 4 Halberdiers, I believe. So after combat, I have 1 knight remaining. I think I did 1 wound to him, actually. Or, no, that was with a cannon the turn before. And I run off the board. He does not go off the board. And look, my Demigryphs can see him in the flank. So I wonder what's going to happen next turn. Even though it won't matter for the scenario, because Watchtower's retarded. So in my next turn, I charge the Demigryphs into the Kroxigors. Not too worried about this one. If it was the front, I would be a little bit more worried, but even so, if my dice are not too shitty for me, I'd probably kill a lot of them before they get to attack me back. Archers move over so they can try and snipe his Skink Priest. Just remember that those Saurus aren't there, they're actually in the building. And in the magic phase, I irresistibly cast Harmonic Convergence or something, and I blow up half my unit. Nothing new there. After shooting, he's almost down to about half strength in the building, even with the hardcover bonus. My Hellblasters are just railing him. I think I put another wound on this guy in the combat phase, or in the movement phase, or whatever you do, the grinds. Grinds are kind of weird. And yeah, I kill 3 of them outright. He gets an attack back, and he takes 2 wounds off of the one that got wounded by the spell, and then I chase him down. He goes off the board. I run off the board too, so I'll end up there in my next turn. So in his turn 4, we actually should have started rolling to see if the game stopped at this point, but I think we didn't until 2 turns later. So he moves up his shooting stuff, his Salamander and his Skinks. His other Saurus block moves up a bit. Skink Priest comes around. In the magic phase, he gets off of Comet finally. I couldn't stop it, unfortunately. Comets are brutal for me against my army because they hurt the War Machine, sure, but it's more the Engineers that'll die. Well, almost for sure, because they have to be out on their own. I guess they don't have to, but after shooting, he misfires with his Salamander and eats 2 handlers and kills a bunch more of my Halberdiers with the poison, and nothing happens in the Steam Tank combat. So in my turn 4, I strike back. The Empire strikes back. Whoa, that was a terrible joke. I'm not even going to care about these because it's really too late to get them in the game, but hey, they're moving forward for what it's worth. Archers move over farther to try and shoot his Skink Priest again. And after magic phase, I don't think I did anything at all. But after shooting, he's really low on Saurus. I think he's down to the last 10, it looks like, in his characters. So in his turn 5, things start speeding up, and I'm taking less pictures just because there's not as many models on the board, and some of our models aren't doing anything, they're just standing there. So he moves his stuff up. I think he lost a Skink Priest to a miscast. And in the combat, I finally kill the Saurus Old Blood. After shooting, his Salamander misfires again. And his Skinks shoot my Halberdiers again. I think he's like routinely killing about 3 or 4 of the Halberdiers, so I'm getting a little less confident about charging into that building, but I have to. It's Watchtower. So pictures are really getting shoddy at this point, and I probably have things out of order, but I charged in to his Saurus here and killed a bunch, and he killed a couple of me. I won combat, but he was steadfast in the building, and that was it. So yeah, pictures were really getting confusing at this point. I think I mixed up some of the pictures while I was going through it on the editor. He charges in his Skinks and his Saurus, but luckily for me, he only clips the corner of my unit with the Saurus. After combat, I kill all but one of the Skinks, and I think I kill 1 Saurus, and he kills a couple of my Halberdiers. But unfortunately, the game ends there because I rolled a 6 for the game to keep going, and that plus the number of turns that we played already equals over 10. So he won with 4 models in the Watchtower. I had suggested, prior to this game starting, to the staff that we just count the Watchtower as extra victory points. Now, many tournaments do this. I think it's much more balanced for this scenario. Similar to if you get Blood or Glory, not losing automatically if your army's broken, but just the enemy gets extra points if your army's broken. Anyways, I thought I played pretty good in this game, and I thought had this been a normal type of game, I would have won. Simply because I probably wouldn't even have those halberdiers in that situation anyway, where they could be charged by the other group of Saurus. I would have just backed them off. But if I have to go for the tower, I have to go for the tower, you know. Unfortunately, buildings are very, very good if you're defending them, especially with like a block of Saurus or a big horde of infantry. Anyways, I'll see you in game 2. Whoa, I'm sounding like other YouTubers when I say that. I'll see you in game 2. Well, I guess I won't see you because you're at home behind your computer.